guys, where have I been for like 3 months? Well, on top of piles of technical issues and then being super busy at work, I haven't really had the time or the patience to sit down and film anything. But I've decided today, since it's a nice snowy day outside, I'd actually do that. So let's just dive right in and talk about Counterblast. Now, Counterblast is a 28mm sci-fi skirmish game made by Bombshell Miniatures, and it's actually really a good game. My favorite thing about it is that it's just so retro in its aesthetics. It goes for very like 50s and 60s science fiction with bubble helmets and ray guns and crazy crap like that. And I absolutely love that, but it has a very modern rule set, which is really nice. So I absolutely love the idea behind this game right off the bat. In fact, I got this months ago on Kickstarter and have, again, been meaning to do something with it. So let's talk, as usual, about the book first. And already there's a problem. Guys, this book is grossly overcosted. I mean, it is ludicrously expensive for what you get. Now, content-wise, you get a lot. You get all the fluff, and you get all the rules, and you get stuff for a campaign that you kind of have to have in a skirmish game nowadays. But at $28, I mean, this thing's damn near $30. You don't get your bang for your buck, unfortunately. First of all, the size. It's little. Like, this is the size of a normal paperback novel, and you can buy those for $8 to $10 each. And then on top of that, it commits one of the cardinal sins of gaming. It's in black and white. Even pictures of actual miniatures are still in black and white. This, for $30, this is just not acceptable, guys. I mean, either make it bigger or make it in color, or I don't know, do both because it's 2014. Oh my god, it's going to be 2015 in a few weeks. So, yeah, this book really kinda isn't worth it. I mean, it's well made and it feels durable, and I absolutely love the cover art, but for the price, it's too small and it's black and white, which bugs the hell out of me in this day and age. And there's something else I want to get out of the way in regards to the book. The fluff is interesting in that it's very retro sci-fi, but you have all these different races like shark people and cat people and all this cool stuff, and none of them really get fleshed out. So let's move on to the actual rules. Are they good? Do they justify buying the grossly overpriced rulebook? Kinda, yeah. The book's still stupid expensive, don't get me wrong, but the rules are really, really solid. It's a D10 system, everything about it is actually just really well done, and it really is kind of slick and flows really well, and it's got its own neat little things going on. But the cool thing is every model has a level, and they can activate other models. So they can activate a number of models up to their command in levels. So if you activate a model that has a command of 1, it can activate another level 1 model along with it. However, heroes can activate anybody with them so long as they still meet that level leadership requirement. But cohorts, or basic grunts basically, can only activate same named models. So you can have a squad of guys essentially in this game, and I actually think that's kind of cool. And it does lend a very neat sort of tactical depth to it because you can sit there and you can go one guy at a time, and then, oh crap, there's a big thing over here. Well, I'm going to send 6 guys at it now. And you get bonuses for fighting in combat as a group and all that sort of good stuff. So it's actually really well done. And the overall core of the rules are pretty neat. Everybody has their stats, so they've got their marksmanship and their melee and mechanics and stuff like that. Now these stats are represented by 2 numbers. There's the first number, which is how many dice you roll, and that's followed by a plus something. And that plus is a modifier to your dice roll. So if you have a model with a marksmanship of 2 plus 2, you get to roll 2 dice when shooting, and you add plus 2 to those rolls. And it's actually a really neat thing to do. Now, it can be a little daunting because when a model activates, they can take 2 actions, an operational action and a combat action, or 2 operational actions, or just a combat action. They can only take 1 combat or attack action in a turn, but there's a lot of things a model can do. I mean, just operational actions alone, there's like 9 or 10 different things you can do. So trying to remember everything a model can do could be a little annoying, but otherwise it's really pretty solid and I can't fault it too much. Now the game does allow for some customizability, which is kind of cool, but the models are metal, so you don't actually get a lot of customizability in the miniatures themselves, but your units you do, because you can buy them different equipment. So if you really put all your points into it and you're playing enough to get points where you can actually kind of pull it off, you can have an entire faction outfitted with jetpacks, which is just awesome. Another cool thing is the different weapon types. So there's different weapons that do different things to different models. Like there's some weapons that affect living models by giving you a bonus or letting you roll extra dice or whatever. And there's vice versa. There's one that's really good against robots. And so you kind of want to mix and match what weapons you're going to bring to a fight, because all but one of the factions has robots in it. Two of the factions. So 3 of the 5. But still, it does mean that you want a nice mix, and it does mean combined arms are kind of important instead of just going, oh, well, this is the best gun in the game, so I'm just going to spam that. And a lot of times you don't even get options. Like some factions just all have one type of gun. They don't get the option to take different weapons, which kind of sucks, but you know what? The rest of the game's solid enough that I'm willing to let it off. Now, like most any skirmish game these days, Counterblast does have a campaign system in it, and this is where the game really falls short to me. The campaign in this is just, it's bad. It's not well done, and it's poorly laid out, and I really don't like it. And I was really excited for it because this is the kind of game that lends itself really well to grand campaigns and storytelling and all sorts of cool stuff. But the campaign in it just sucks. Get this, you can have guys get hurt and their stats can get lower. But as your guys survive, their stats can't ever get higher. What? You're telling me that my guy with a sniper rifle, who's just picking dudes off every single game, can't actually get better at shooting, but if he gets shot, he can get worse at shooting? That makes no damn sense. I mean, there are some cool elements to it, like salvage and being able to build robots that you can add to your crew, but this whole stat thing bugs the crap out of me because it doesn't feel like it actually goes anywhere. Your guys never get better. They never really do anything. Yeah, you can get them special skills, but those don't actually make their stats better. And in a miniatures game with a skirmish system, with a campaign, having stats get better is part of the core concept. Having a game where your guys can get crappier, but they can never actually get better is idiotic, and it doesn't make any sense. It's completely counterintuitive. And that really, really kills me because I really wanted the campaign to be really good because, again, this game lends itself to it with its setting. But the campaign is just so poorly executed and so badly done that it's really not even worth it. All right, moving on from that, let's talk about the models, because these have been getting a bit of contention from some people I've talked to. Now, obviously, the biggest complaint is, they're metal and therefore they're inferior. Shut up. Just shut up, please. I do not care. But the other thing I've been seeing a lot of people say is they don't like the aesthetic, and that is a huge part of this game. Again, it's very retro-inspired, but the miniatures do have a sort of modern appeal to them. They're not super old school and like really clunky and retro looking like the Judge Dredd miniatures, but they have a very retro charm and very retro feel to them. I personally love the models for this game. They have a lot of character and they've got a lot of really cool designs, and they're just overall really fun looking models. I actually got 2 starter factions that I'll be doing unboxing of eventually. So at the end of the day, is Counterblast worth it? That's kind of a tricky question. I personally think the models look great, and I think the core of the rules are solid enough to make it a fun game to play. But the rulebook is grossly overcosted for what you get. The campaign system is such a freaking letdown. And if you're not into that retro sci-fi aesthetic, then it's just not going to do it for you. Still, if you are into that retro sci-fi aesthetic and you're looking for a fun little skirmish game that won't break the bank except for the rulebook, I really do recommend Counterblast. It's great for one-off games, not so much for the campaign. So in the end, there's just too many factors to give it a sort of definitive yay or nay here. But I like it. It's a cool game, and if you can find the book for a reasonable price, I suggest checking it out. It's really cool, and it's really fun, and it's got a lot of charm to it. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with me as I've been gone for several months. Don't forget, you can check us out on Facebook and on Twitter by following the links below. And be sure to keep it here for more videos, including more reviews, unboxings, and hobby updates that we've now started doing. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.